Thank you, Madam Acting Chair. Can you hear me? I don't. Oh, good. For those of you who aren't aware, my wife suddenly died in November. Um, she contracted a case of pneumonia, and by the time the medical practitioners discovered it, it was too late to heal her from her condition. It was quite sudden, shocking, and quite unexpected. We've been married 51 years, together for 55 years, and I just want to acknowledge that many of you have sent to me your condolences and your well wishes. She had many loving friends, family, and acquaintances that have been very comforting for me over this time frame. And I'm going to have triggers, I'm sure, over the course of the next forever. But please accept my thanks and sincere appreciation for reaching out to me with sympathy, condolences, and support. Thank you, Madam Acting Chair.
You're very welcome. Two other points of order, please. Number one, Chair Winslow, are you on the phone?
Chairman Winslow, are you on the phone?
I am. Thank you. Hello, everybody.
Second point of order is those on the phone, would you please mute your phone so we don't hear everything that's going on behind you? Thank you very much. All right, we have two sets of minutes. December the 14th, public session. Motion, please.
So moved.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair Winslow,
Aye.
Commissioner Correa,
Aye.
Commissioner Drexler,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and I vote aye. The second set of minutes is the executive session on the same date, December 14th.
I move that we approve the minutes of the executive session as presented.
Second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor? Chair Winslow,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Drexler,
Aye.
Commissioner Correa,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Thank you very much. We have a presentation today from the Veolia Water Delaware State of the Company presentation. We have Larry Finicum, Michael Bard, and Rob Penman. Larry, please.
All right, good afternoon, commissioners and interested parties. Wanted to take a moment to thank you for the opportunity to come and present what we feel is a very meaningful and informative state of the company for Veolia Water Delaware. So I'm going to let the team introduce themselves. So Rob?
Rob Penman, Senior Operations Manager.
Rodolphe Wishu, the Veolia Utility Operations President.
Michael Bard, Manager of Communications, Community Relations.
All right, so if you want to go to the next slide. So just a little bit of an overview of what we intend to cover here in our state of the company. We'll give a overview, myself and Rodolphe will give an overview of the business presence of Veolia North America, talk a little bit about the organization, get into a little bit of our health and safety record, as well as our response to COVID-19. Michael's going to cover customer relations and communications, talk about our Veolia and Suez merger, talk about some customer and employee engagement activities that we're doing, and then talk about community relations and charitable giving that we've been doing. And then Rob is going to cover the operations, talk about capital investment and infrastructure improvement, talk a little bit about the regulatory environment, and then talk about our large project at the Stanton Water Treatment Plant. So with that, I'm going to pass the baton over to Rodolphe to talk about the Suez business presence in North America.
So, Veolia business presence, we specific. We just thought it would be interesting to have a bit of a context before delving into the Delaware operations. So next slide just shows the global presence of Veolia Group. So it's a large company after the merger with Suez, about $40 billion in revenues and over 220,000 employees with a global reach. So the benefit for us is to be able to tap into that global presence and that global expertise, but at the same time want to emphasize that a lot of the decision making is actually decentralized at the country and the business line level, more specifically. So maybe zooming in, next slide, going into the presence in North America, and that represents about $3.5 billion in revenues. Veolia Group operates in 3 different industries, if you want, or business lines, one being water, waste the second one, and energy services being the third one. In water is the lion's share of the activity in North America. It's about 60% of the activity of Veolia in North America. In water, we have two segments, if you want. One is the regulated utility operations I'll get into in a second. The other one is what we call contract operations for municipal water. And so it's essentially public-private partnerships, and we have a portfolio of about 200 contracts across the country with presence in most of the states of the country. So zooming in on more specifically the regulated utility operation, next slide. We are the third largest regulated water utility in the country after American Water and Aqua America. We're essentially a Northeast utility with the operations in, as you can see, largest state in terms of customer connection for us is New Jersey, and then New York, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Rhode Island as well, and then out in the west, the exception being our operations in Idaho, in the city and surrounding area, in the city of Boise. So we cover about close to 640,000 connections, and with north of 1,000 employees. And with that, we're going to go more deeper into the Delaware operations, and I'll turn it back to Rob.
So next slide, to the Delaware operation. So again, we proudly serve 39,000 connections in northern Newcastle County, which is 100,000 population served. We do that with 60 dedicated employees that are committed to providing superior service to our customers, as well as we are very, very proud to serve some very large industrial customers in northern Newcastle County, which really help with the economic engine in here in the state of Delaware. Some of those that I'll highlight would be Calpine, the Delaware City Refinery, Croda, and AstraZeneca. So moving to the next slide. This is our leadership team, which brings 150 years of knowledge to water management. It's a very engaged, diverse, and innovative team. And as the Vice President and General Manager, I am proud to lead this team in serving our customers. Go to the next slide. One of the things that I wanted to express to the Commission is Veolia's commitment to safety. And I'm proud to report that the Delaware operation has had 0 lost time injuries since 2016, as well as we've had 0 at-fault motor vehicle accidents since 2018. Safety is at the heart of everything we do. Safety really encompasses that human element, and we believe people make the difference in everything that we do. Next slide. We'll touch a little bit on some of our COVID-19 response in Delaware. I am very, very proud to say that during the pandemic and what we've done in our response, that we were able to have 0 work-related COVID-19 exposures. So that was a very, very good accomplishment for our operation, and that's something that I am very proud of. And what we were able to do was implement very succinctly and very quickly a number of operating levels that we operated through the pandemic. Each one of them had their own constraints and activities that we ended up doing through those activity levels. Some of those required some of our employees to begin remote work or work from home, which is something that we've continued now as we come out the other end of the pandemic and working to create hybrid work policies for our employees to continue to manage that work-life balance for our employees. One of the the other things that we were able to do was implement daily health surveys for our employees so that we could actively understand the health status of each of our employees before they would report to work. And one of the other things that we were able to do was we were able to put together a temporary respiratory program for our employees where we had 30 of our employees go into that program that had them fit tested for N95 respirators so that we could continue to work and work in a safe and healthy way throughout the pandemic. And I think the thing that I am most proud of through the entire pandemic is that in a world where everything changed, our customers' water service did not. So that was something that I can say that I am very proud of. So now I'm going to transition over to Michael as he's going to talk a little bit about customer community.
Thanks, Larry. Next slide, please. So, good afternoon. Wanted to take the opportunity to give a little bit of an update on some of the things we've had going on internally since we consummated the merger and finalized the merger agreements with Suez in late 2021. So, starting in early 2022, we started to kind of work through the process of planning a rebranding effort for the company to inform, educate our customers about the changeover. One of the important details that obviously has to occur is the change in our logos and our visible external presence in the community. So we were able to rebrand vehicles, deploy new uniforms, update our website. A lot of those changes occurred in the middle of 2022. So we were able to achieve a pretty seamless changeover around the June timeframe. Also, our website previously, mysuezwater.com, customers are now able to find information with regard to water conservation, pay their bill, and so on online on our new website, which is mywater.veolia.us. So we were very pleased with the seamlessness of that changeover, so much so that we even joke internally a little bit that we don't really know where the time went, and it barely feels like it's been a new company. Folks are very happy. One of the other things that I wanted to provide an update on with regard to the merger was some of the commitments that were made within that agreement. So just as a reminder, Veolia committed to $300,000 to offset customer arrears 60 days past due. We also committed $110,000 to continue to stand up previously as Suez Cares, now Veolia Cares, customer bill pay assistance program. And we also committed $100,000 over the next 3 years to community, sustainability, charitable, environmental organizations, and basic needs organizations throughout our service territory. And then finally, we returned $1.3 million as customer credit to bills. Customers received those bills at the end of, those credits at the end of 2022. Slide, please. So the next few slides are going to walk through, provide a little bit more detail on what some of that work has looked like. So one of the things that I think we're particularly proud about is the way we've been able to stand up and support financial assistance continually needed post-COVID for customers in need. And so there's a few statistics up on the screen are included in the presentation, but you'll see a gradual, rather significant increase both through COVID and after to the contributions and the things we're facilitating to assist customers with paying their bills. So in 2021, we contributed just over $7,000, and that number almost tripled as we were going through, assisting customers with COVID, and that's also with assistance during the pandemic. And then even factoring in, we actually postponed or held payments to assist customers, understanding that they were going through a difficult time. And then one of the other things we did with regard to the customer arrears, we returned $134,000 of that $300,000, and the balance of that is being rolled in to support the ongoing and sustaining of the Veolia Cares talk a little bit about those in more detail, but some of the final ideas that made the top were ways to around workforce development. I'll just give a quick example. Was a program called No Diploma, No Problem. So this was a way to actively engage folks who would be great candidates for some of our frontline employee roles. This is material handlers. This is warehouse associates. This is maybe non-technical staff, but folks who are really the face of our company and the community, and how to both support them in bringing them into the company and also simultaneously how we can support them in achieving that GED, getting that high school diploma. So just a nice story that we're really excited about. One of the things we've implemented very locally is employee roundtables. So our HR business partner will, I would say even beyond periodic, I would say every month or at least once a month, pull employees together, do temperature checks on how things are going, and kind of learning how we continue to improve. And we're actually taking that feedback back, incorporating it into practices, and it's kind of something we're looking forward to continuing. Just a couple of photos to get some color in here. One of the other things we're engaging now in a post pandemic environment where we can really be out there in the community. We are getting out, volunteering at food banks, doing employee engagement events, and it's nice to be able to get together again without a mask on and reduce social distancing. Slide, please. So I kind of want to wrap up a little bit, but talk a little bit about color in some of those community engagement efforts. So one of the things that VOA is very proud of is being a longtime founding sponsor to some of our key watershed groups. So the Christiana Cleanup, or the Christiana River, Cleanup, Watershed Cleanup, in partnership with the Christina Conservancy, is something we've been a founding member for. It celebrated its 30th year last year in 2022. So we're continuing to work and partner with these organizations and sustain these things. And then one of the things in particular that we've seen last year is a revitalization for a watershed control plan, which is an internal operational plan. But the key takeaway of that is we're engaging nonprofits and organizations in the community in water quality improvement efforts along our source water. Slide, please. And then finally, to give a little bit more detail on our community engagement and charitable giving, of that $100,000 commitment and sustaining our legacy program that we'd already been committing, we did commit $53,000 this year to a number of different organizations that do really exciting work, both for the environment, but also supporting basic needs within our service territory. And these are community centers. And doing interesting things with STEM education as well. So at this point, I will hand the floor over to Rob to talk a little bit about our operations.
Yes, thank you. Slide, please. So here, this image was showed earlier. We just want to show you our overall system. We are in the red. So we have distinct north, south, and river road service territories, all fed by a 30 million gallon per day rated treatment plant, which is located in the center there in the Newport area. So we feed all those different territories via transmission mains, 20 and 24 inch, that reach the far extremities of our system. We have a system of about 39,000 plus connections, about 50-50 between the north and what we call the south, which also includes River Road, so we're split pretty evenly. We have about 550 plus miles of main throughout that service territory. Also within that, we have 7,400 valves, about 2,300 hydrants that we maintain. We also have 13 booster stations and 18 storage tanks. So as far as system as a whole, we have an average day demand of about 14.5 to 15 MGD. But over the last 2 years, we have had max days of about 19 to 20, and we've had peak hours in the range of about 20 to 22. So we do get up to that higher threshold of our demand. Slide, please. Staying in line with what Larry was saying about, EHS is a huge focus to us in Delaware. Just want to touch on a couple items. So emergency response planning and training exercises from an operational point of view is very important to us. We do routine reviews of our ERP. We do lots of in-house training with our employees, making sure everything's up to date. We perform in-house exercises for emergency response type scenarios. And recently we participated with the EPA as well as other utilities within the state, mostly geared around water, to do a ERP live exercise. It was done virtually, of course, because COVID and regulations, but we did participate Water and Wastewater Agency Response Network. That's what WARN stands for. Delaware having its own chapter. Every state has one, supported by the EPA and AWWA. We are a member of that WARN. I'm actually the current chair for that organization. So again, we as Veolia and myself support that organization as a whole, which is a mutual aid response program throughout the entire state of Delaware, where multiple utilities can work together to alleviate one emergency situation or share services. We continue to support that. Cybersecurity awareness and training. Of course, this is crucial to any organization like ours. We continue to provide awareness to our in-house employees through internal engagements, training, webinars, etc. We continue to maintain our password policies, where we maintain passwords be changed every so many days, about 90 days. Again, to keep that integrity of our system. Of course, we have our firewalls. Some things are done at a IT background that is not necessarily mine. But at the firewalls are different things that at the corporate level to help facilitate those goals and initiatives to make sure we have a secure network. So we continue to do those. SCADA and water quality monitoring. Of course, we have a SCADA program, which is supervisory control and data acquisition. Basically, that's what controls our program and automation of our facilities. So we maintain those in-house as well as real-time water quality monitoring. So we're going through an upgrade right now to enhance that scenario and enhance those parameters and software. So again, we are routinely monitoring those and upgrading there. And then environment and sustainability. We go through drought resiliency planning in-house. We have a tidal capture structure that we maintain to make sure that through those times of low flow on the creek, which is our source water, that we're able to provide transparent to our customers. And then of course we maintain our ASR with aquifer storage and recovery, which is a 1 million gallon per day well down in the River Road section that also helps with drought resiliency. And then of course we work with multiple agencies for our environmental parts of that, with being on the creek. We work with DNREC, Fish and Wildlife, for migration of fish and all that, as far as our intake and our environmental contributions. And then as well, we did the 2020 upgrade, which did that 4 million gallon worth of on-site storage and hydraulic pumping that we added. That also goes towards our drought resiliency, where there's low flow on the creek, we can scale back the plant and use that on-site storage. So that was a well-worth project that we did in 2020 and helped us considerably over at least the last 2 years that it's been in service. So again, we continue to focus on those items. Next slide, please. Here, as all companies and industries are facing an economic struggle, we could probably go over that all day, but I just wanted to bring focus to a couple certain things that affect us. We are seeing pressures with chemicals and energy. Really, all three of these points kind of come together into one common theme, right? Supply chain issues and overcoming them, as well as increase in overall project costs. So, we do competitively bid our items, chemicals, energy, etc. But mostly right now, we've received bids on chemicals, and we are seeing increases of anywhere from 30 to 50% on unit costs for our primary chemicals. So more to come on that. It's still evolving, but just bringing that to your attention, it is affecting us as well. Again, that whole big picture is evolving across the country. Supply chain issues, we're dealing with that as well. Getting material, having delays in material, production for meters and all that are a challenge, so they're becoming more difficult for us to get. I am very thankful that local and federal government was able to mitigate the rail strike potential issue that we were seeing in September that may have come around, and even here in December. That would have been a little bit hurtful for us in getting some of our chemicals that we needed specifically. So I'm very thankful that the government as a whole was able to achieve the end goal there of keeping everything running. So much obliged there. And then of course, increase in overall project costs. Yes, as commodities increase, labor increases, we're seeing that. And then the other challenge we're seeing are some quotes that we're getting because of those changings elsewhere and products that we try to get. Quotes that were good for 30 to 60 days are now only becoming good for 10 days to 2 weeks. So again, there's some struggles there that we're trying to mitigate through some creative processes internally. But again, like Larry said, in the end, we are still maintaining service to our customers, being diligent about that, and seamless slide, please. Here, just want to touch base on the capital infrastructure. To the right there, you'll see 92 million was the entire capital spend from 2017 to 2022. And then focusing again back to the left side, we distribute how much we spent on our main renewal program. Again, COVID being the off year there for obvious reasons. But then we picked it back up again in 2021, 2022, as well as another 20 million set aside in 23 to 26 to again continue our main renewal program, upkeep on our the lifeline of our system. Also noting there that 50% of our mains were installed from 1950s, 1970s, so keep in mind our mains are anywhere from 73 to 44 years old. So we are aging infrastructure that must be maintained. And again, our goal is to ensure that 100-year 50 replacement cycle best practices. So we must maintain about 3.5 miles of main replaced a year. And if you see there, shifting back to the right again, 13.8 miles from 2019 to 2022. That's about 3.45 miles per year. So we were on target. Next slide, please. Here, focusing on smart utilities and initiatives in-house. Again, as we are an older utility or older business, we still want to move into the future. So we do have some smart utility initiatives that we've done. CloudGen is a software program that we use to manage our linear assets, below grade mains, valves, and hydrants. It's a paperless system. So it allows us to manage workflow from our field staff, paperless, through work orders, etc. Also through doing that, we can capture better data. So we're capturing all that data on the actual maintenance that's being done. So that was implemented in 2020, 21. GIS, of course, has been around for quite many years. So we continue to develop our GIS, maintaining that. GIS being, basically our mapping system, if you will. Virtually, so that our field staff can see where the mains are, as-built, links to all sorts of other information that we can store. And then combined, CloudGen can sync to GIS. So we're using that connectivity and that benefit there to actually, that's where we're going to meet our 2024 goal to meet the lead and copper revised rule goal of having all the services on both us and the customer side under a database. So through those two initiatives, we're going to meet that goal in 2024. Likewise, we're also using story maps. This is newer to me, but we're going to start using some interactive web-based story maps that are a better way for us to reach out to our customers and disseminate information to them. But also it's a two-way street. So they can actually give us some valuable information through that story map. Likewise, that's how we're going to also meet our lead and copper revised rule goal. We're hoping that they can contribute some valuable information to make things a little bit easier to accomplish that in 2 years. Next slide. Shifting gears to the regulatory environment. So, touching a little bit here, the biggest thing that we're facing right at the moment are the PFAs. They've been in the news, they've been up and around. So we as Veolia, we are, getting ahead of that. So the regulatory environment as it is right now, the EPA in 2016 lowered health advisory level to 70 parts per trillion, and have recently proposed, as you can see there, 2022, 0.004 and 0.02 parts per trillion. We're still waiting for something else to come out from the EPA. I believe they recently said that they're going to release potential formalizer at their HAL sometime in March of 2023. So these are still kind of a moving target at the moment. Again, just in case you didn't know, an HAL is a health advisory limit that is not an enforceable limit. Okay. So that being said, Delaware is also trying to be proactive in trying to set an MCL for that particular contaminants. Here in 2022, they are looking for MCL proposed at 21 PFOA, 14 POFS, and a 17 combined. So, in the end, these are regulatory challenges that we're facing as a water utility. Some moving targets, some, yet to be seen, and we're trying to get ahead of that as best we can. So, Next slide, please. So where we are today with that particular scenario, as of now, Delaware's state and plan has a strong track record and where we have met or surpassed all federal and state regulations since I've at least been here in the last 8 to 9 years. To that point, we've had no water quality NOVs in the last 8+ years. We have been and we're actively monitoring PFOA and PFOS in our background, mostly in the wall, as the HAL was starting to be lowered or developed in 2016. We've worked transparently with DNREC, ODW, and DPH on all these parameters that we've been monitoring throughout this entire time. And to this day, we have not exceeded the 70 parts per trillion HAL that was set in 2016. We are actively publishing our numbers in the CCR since 2018, where we are down in the low 20s, mid-20s to mid-30s. That's kind of our range on our PFAs. So we are under the 70 significantly, but that targets that are potentially coming out from Delaware, as well as EPA, will greatly affect our operation one way or the other. So next slide, please. So to accomplish our goal of meeting those regulatory numbers, which are not yet in place, we've started to put in a design of how we're going to address that, okay? So it's still in its infancy in that we've done our bidding, we're going through some formalized design now, so we're trying to get ahead of that. We are under the assumption right now that when the MCLs are enacted, they'll probably be in place somewhere in 2024. So right now, our project is slated to be completed by December of 2024. What that means is a potentially $38 million investment to build a facility of granulated activated carbon, which is going to be about 18 pairs of vessels, so 36 individual filters to treat up to about 24 million gallons per day, which is what we're rated. We're rated for 30, but our peak is anywhere up to 22. So, we're actively trying to get ahead of this MCL before it becomes in place, and it's in progress. It will be the largest commissioned project in all of Veolia for the near term. So there's a lot of eyes on this internally, and we're going to do right by our customers by making sure that we get appropriate costs and get this done the right way, and then make sure we're meeting all regulatory requirements. That being said, that's pretty much the operations in a nutshell. I did a lot of talking. I apologize. I will pass it off to Larry.
Right. And next slide. So again, wanted to thank the commissioners and the interested parties for the opportunity today to present what we believe, again, is a very meaningful and informative state of the company. And at this time, we would welcome any questions that the commissioners may have.
Commissioner Gray?
Madam Acting Chair, thank you. Thank you. Very nice presentation. When you're looking to the future for the investments needed to make the water quality safer, and you might correct me here, but I think I overheard a newscast yesterday that the governor in New Jersey has made available substantial grant monies from the feds to help make water safety improvements in the state of New Jersey. Do you anticipate that any of these costs that you are projecting are going to be supported by federal grant monies, or are you looking at ratepayers to carry the lift here? Do you have any thoughts on that?
So, Jim, you may be in the best position to answer that.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jim Cagle. If I don't think I was introduced previously, so and that's fine. But so as far as federal monies go, just in general, those are parceled out, I guess you could say, to the various states for use by, for example, in Delaware, the name is Larry, and I apologize. The name of the agency that WEAC. Thank you. I apologize.
The Water Infrastructure Advisory Council, which manages the state revolving funds.
And there are certainly limits, with the available also certainly our Stanton plant is a very sizable, amount of investment. So we are, we are looking into what we can get in all of our, in all of our states. But we're not quite, ready as yet to make application for those. So to answer your question, to hopefully answer your question, Commissioner Gray, we are definitely looking into it to see what we can access.
Very good. Well, on behalf of the ratepayers, I would encourage that you continue to track that opportunity, and good luck with the planned investments for the water quality. Thanks for the presentation. No further questions.
Thank you for your presentation. A couple of questions. One on the trash removal of 24 tons from the Christina River watershed and the Red Clay River watershed areas. Is that an annual event?
Sure. So these are annual cleanups that are held in partnership with different nonprofit watershed groups. In the case of the Christina River, that's the Christina Conservancy. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, does a lot of watershed education, and it really has been the central organizing nerve center of the cleanup for three decades now. So yes, to answer the question, those the numbers cited on there are aggregate numbers. So if you're looking at the entirety of 3 decades of
Okay.
cleanups, adding up every year, and then we've arrived at that.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
Secondly, you're replacing mains, 3.5 miles per year of mains. What are you replacing, and what are you replacing? What are the materials you're replacing? What are you replacing with? Lead with PVC? What?
Yeah, so in most
Yeah.
cases, we're replacing with ductile iron main or PVC where it's warranted. Depends on the pressure in that particular system. Some of our senior pressures up to 90, 100 pounds, give or take. Some are a little bit lower. We can go with plastic, PVC. So it depends on where we are, but mostly focusing on ductile iron main right now. And we're focusing on the service or the parts of the territory that are aged the most, maybe have the most call-ins for leak issues. So we're focusing on the higher priority areas first. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. And my last question is, the granulated activated charcoal system, is that system the most, advanced technologically? And can that system, to your knowledge, remove all of the PFAS? Or if the MCL number becomes 40 or 20 or 10, is that system going to bring it down to 10? Or is there a next step where it's going to go to 0 and you're going to need something else?
So to the first question, GAC, there are the products out there. There's a resin-based product that is potentially capable of doing similar things. So right now we're still trying to determine the vessels that I focus on GAC, which is the primary media that most organizations use and most utilities use. But there's a resin product out there. So the vessels that we are purchasing are dual media, so we can go either direction. So as we're moving this project forward, part of this is a pilot study to see which one is best to use, or a combination of both. But either way, as far as where the project is right now, the vessels are the same, the building's the same, everything else is the same. It's just the media. So that's going to be vetted out as we continue to do the design.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you for the presentation.
Mr. Korea?
Thank you. So, congratulations. Overall, it's a very, very good report, and it tells us a lot about your company and quote, top management philosophy and what have you. One figure particularly strikes me is on page 8, that for 6 years, 2016 to 2022, you don't have any lost time because of accidents or other mishaps. That speaks very highly of your diligence and working with the employees and putting money where the mouth is, like equipment or training and seminars or webinars and what have you. So my thank you to you for that. My second question is for you, that has the company, especially the Delaware part, ever issued the bonds or borrowing at all? And if so, was it rated by any of the rating companies?
So currently and historically, the funding that the company has made has not necessarily been at the operating unit level. It's made at the parent company level, and we are rated at the parent company level at, I believe, A-rated at this point. I'm glad I have backup on that.
He seems to be a good backup.
He is.
Thank you, thank you.
You have any questions, Drew?
Actually,
Commissioner Winslow?
Hey, Larry,
Yes, Chairman Winslow.
I want to express my appreciation to all of you for a very fine presentation. My only regret is that I'm not there in person so I can compare you in present day versus that photograph I saw in the management slide. And my question is, was that picture taken with a Polaroid camera?
I think it was Chairman Winslow, and my wife always tells me she likes that picture much better than what she sees now.
thank you. So, Commissioner Gray actually asked my question, but to the extent that you apply for federal funding, please let us know. We're happy to consider a letter of support or something.
Thank you all so very, very much. It was very informative.
Thank you.
All right, Commissioners, we have a consent agenda with 4 items on it. Are there any items that you would like to have removed?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the consent agenda as submitted.
I second the motion.
Any questions on the motion? All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Chair Winslow,
Aye.
Commissioner Correa,
Aye.
Commissioner Drexler,
Aye.
Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Thank you very much. The motion carries. We have 2 items on the other agenda. Let me see what I've got here. The first item is the matter of provision of standard offer supply to retail consumers in the service territory of Delmarva Power and Light Company. I believe we have Dawn Crompton from DP&L.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you, Madam Acting Chair. Dawn Kurtz Crompton on behalf of Delmarva Power and Light Company. You have in front of you for consideration order number 10160, which approves Delmarva Power's approves the request made by staff in Delmarva Power to implement the capacity proxy price if there is not a known actual price by the time of our auction in mid-January. By way of background, on August 19, 2022, Delmarva submitted to the Commission its proposed changes to the 2023 SOS procurement cycle and procurement process in Delaware. The Commission considered Delmarva's application during the September 14, 2022 Public Service Commission meeting and issued order number 10099, which, among other things, approved that Section 7.1H of our application could continue to use a capacity proxy price for the Tranche 1 auction for the delivery year 2024 to 2025 because PJM Interconnection was planning to delay its base residual auction, or BRA, until December of 2022. On December 13, PJM hosted its auction for delivery years 24 and 25, but for reasons stated in staff's memo, the auction prices have not yet been published. As such, there is some uncertainty as to whether the auction prices, the actual auction prices, will be available prior to Delmarva's Tranche 2 auction, which is scheduled for January 30th, 2023. Accordingly, proposed order number 10160 recommends that the Commission approve a capacity proxy price of 69.53 megawatts per day to be used by wholesale suppliers in their bids for risky customers for delivery year 24-25 if the actual Delmarva zonal capacity price is not known on January 23rd when the auction occurs. As stated in staff's memo, if the price is known on the date of the auction, the proxy price will not be used and the actual price will be. Delmarva would like to thank staff and especially Ms. Knotts for preparing the memo in this matter and for her proactive approach to this issue. And we also appreciate that we were afforded the opportunity to review and comment. In closing, Delmarva is in agreement with the form of order presented to you today in order number 10160, and we respectfully request that it be entered. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pope, for staff, please.
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. Summer Pope on behalf of staff. Staff thanks the Delmarva attorney, Mr. Kurtz Crompton, for explaining that in detail. And I won't go over it again, but staff is in agreement with the form of proposed order as presented today and recommends that the commission approve this order. Also, I'd like to note that if the commissioners have any questions for the technicality of this, Ms. Knotts is available for questions.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
much. Mr. Slater for DPA, please.
We also want to thank Pam for putting this together and support the proposed form of order. Thank you.
Commissioners, do you have any questions? Commissioner Gray.
Yes, and I may already have this in the detail that I overlooked, but what is the difference in this proxy price as compared to the one that was previously approved?
Thank you, Commissioner Gray. This proxy price would be the exact same one that was approved in September that we're just carrying over unless and until we get an actual price.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? May I have a motion, please?
I move
So
that we
moved.
are,
Wait a second.
I second it.
It's been moved by Chair Winslow and seconded by Commissioner Correa that we adopt proposed order number 10160. Are there any questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Commissioner Gray,
Aye.
Commissioner Drexler,
Aye.
Commissioner Correa,
Aye.
Chair Winslow,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you. The next item on the regular agenda is the matter of the request of Artesian Water Company for a revision to the rates being assessed to the town of Frankfurt pursuant to an asset purchase agreement. Let's see, we have Courtney Emerson for.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. Courtney Emerson on behalf of Artesian Water Company. I'm joined here today by Dave Spake. We're here today on docket number 22-1192, proposed order 10166. We're seeking commission approval to convert the water rates being charged to customers located in the town of Frankfurt water service area to Artesian's commission-approved rates, effective with usage on or after January 20th, 2023, as well as to approve Artesian's plan to refund to certain customers the respective amounts by March 31st of 2023, as set forth more fully in our application. By way of background, on February 27th of 2020, Artesian and the town of Frankfurt entered into an asset purchase agreement through which Artesian acquired the water assets of the town of Frankfurt, including the right to serve Frankfurt's existing customers. The APA required Frankfurt's existing rate structure to be maintained until Artesian connected the regional system to Frankfurt's system. The Commission approved that transaction on March 18th of 2020, and the interconnection occurred on February 22nd of 2022. Accordingly, we are now seeking Commission's approval to convert the rates being charged to the customers within the town's water service area to Artesian's Commission-approved rates, effective with usage on or after January 20th. The proposed rate change for the town service territory is expected to decrease the bill for an average residential customer by approximately $3.81 per month, but the financial impact will vary by customer based upon their actual level of consumption. Residential customers who consume 3,000 gallons of water or less will see an increase to their monthly bill. We are also seeking a refund to certain customers amounts billed and paid during the refund period. That period being the period starting with the first full bill after the Frankfurt and Artesian water systems connected in February of 2022 through the effective date of the rate change. For customer bills issued during that refund period, we will recalculate each such bill to determine if a customer paid more under the town of Frankfurt's rates than it would have paid under Artesian's commission-approved rates. That amount, if the difference will be considered the refund amount, and any customer with a refund amount shall be refunded that amount plus interest calculated in accordance with the Commission's regulations via credit to the customer's account no later than March 31st, 2023. Customers who paid less during the refund period than the customer would have paid under Artesian's commission-approved rates will not receive a refund, nor will they be charged the difference between the amount that they would have paid under Artesian rates and the amounts actually paid during the refund period. We are also seeking a waiver of the 60 days notice period and the public notice requirements for proposed rate changes. As the Commission has been on notice of this transaction since the March 18th, 2020 sale, the Commission's approval to convert the town's rates does not approve or authorize any particular rate-making treatment of the acquisition price or the assets acquired. The Frankfurt customers have been on notice since February 3rd, 2020, when the town approved the sale of its water system to Artesian at its monthly council meeting. And Artesian intends to send each customer a notification letter which explains the change in service rates. We'd like to thank staff as well as the DPA for their assistance with this matter, particularly expediting the review. We respectfully request the Commission enter proposed order number 10166, and Dave and I are available if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Ms. Pope?
Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Acting Chair and Commissioners. Summer Pope on behalf of staff. Staff thanks Artesian for explaining the matter, and staff is in agreement with the form of proposed order presented today and recommends that the Commission approve order number 10166. Staff thanks Artesian and the DPA for their assistance in this matter. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Mr. Slater?
We also support the proposed form of order. Thank you.
Commissioners, are there any questions? Commissioner Gray?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Acting Chair. So this rate change becomes effective on January 20.
With consumption from January 20th on, yes.
Okay. So what notification or communications have the residential customers specifically been provided in advance of this change?
So they were apprised at the town meeting where the acquisition was proposed and approved by the town council. They've also will receive the letter that was attached to our application and then the public filing of this application.
Okay, I have in principle no issue with the idea that the change should happen. I'm just a little curious in terms of how much advance notice those residential customers have been given, especially those who may not consume more than 3,000 gallons a month. It sounds like in the algorithm for calculating whether they get a refund or not has to do with that consumption trigger. And I can ask the question, I don't know if you've analyzed how many of your customers are using less than 3,000 a month and will not get a refund.
Yes. So based on rough data that we had up to today's hearing, which would not include this current consumption period, it was slightly under half. So the average residential customer in Frankfurt uses approximately 4,000 gallons. So slightly under half would be in that 3,000 and below range and could expect an increase. In terms of advance notice, again, it's been that town council meeting and the rate change has been approved and the town has been aware of it since 2020. The letter will go out and this public filing, I don't
the only thing I can tell you is, obviously, this is later in the process than we would have liked it. And in fact, it was brought to our attention by the town itself through meetings with the residents that these changes needed to go into place. That's why we expedited here at your end. I had talked to the DPA about that. That was our oversight. And so the town and its residents all had been on notice, either through directly communications from us or the town, that this change was coming and what it would mean to the residents, whether it be those that were using less than 3,000 gallons or those that were using more. It's a mixed bag. It's a very, across the board, it's a de minimis change in terms of revenues, but it's obviously one that had to be pressed through so that they were all on the same page.
Okay, so I just have a little heartburn with the advance notice to customers who will be impacted in a disadvantaged way, but I'm prepared, Madam Chair, to offer a motion that we adopt order number 10166 as submitted.
I second.
All right, any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Chair
Aye.
Winslow? Okay, and I vote aye. Motion passes. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you.
Are there any members of the public present who would like to make comment? There being none, we'll go to administrative matters. Mr. Reagan?
Thank you, Madam Acting Chair. I do have 3 updates for you today. The first was discussed during regular agenda item number 1, and that is the results of PJM's most recent base residual auction. The issue is complicated, so I'll try to keep things at a fairly high level, but PJM was in the process of procuring capacity for the period of June 1st through 2024 through May 31st, 2025, through an auction process that they refer to as the Base Residual Auction, or BRA. The auction concluded December 13th. However, PJM identified an issue with the auction results in the DPL South Zone, which is all of Delaware from the C&D Canal south and includes parts of Maryland and Virginia. PJM identified a deficiency in their capacity resource model, which they've characterized as a mismatch between the expected generation that would bid in the auction versus what actually bid. So the result is that the auction prices were much higher than expected, to the point where PJM did not consider them just. On December 23rd, PJM made a filing with FERC asking to amend their tariff to basically adjust their model so that this wouldn't happen in the future. Staff feels that it's very important that we support PJM in this filing and would ask for your support to do that. We have had a meeting with our FERC attorney, Mr. Weishar. He's in the process of drafting comments. It's possible we be joined by the DPA and other interested stakeholders as well, as this potentially in the future could impact other regions as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if not, just an indication of your approval to file this comment.
Yeah, we've discussed this, as you know, with PJM and through OPSI as well, and so I'm pretty comfortable with this, what's going on here, and I know that the market monitor's been involved as well, and has really requested not to release those prices from the auction. So I do support this. I do support the discussion and the results not being published at this time, and working out with the large bidder that didn't bid, or those issues. I move that we join PJM in this, yes.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Chair Winslow?
Aye.
And I vote aye.
Thank you very much. The second issue I wanted to bring to your attention was a legislative bill which staff has put together and is proposing. As you know, we typically don't sponsor legislation, but we do from time to time, either to clean up Title 26 or to identify new issues that we think would be helpful to the Commission. So So we have an omnibus bill that addresses 4 different areas of Title 26. The first thing is to allow us to formally publish notice of our hearings on our social media platforms. You may be aware today that we have to publish those in a newspaper. We incur thousands of dollars in cost to do that. And of course, not too many people are reading the newspaper classifieds to check out when our hearings are. So we think that this will save us money and also increase our reach to customers and hopefully get more participation in our proceedings. The second item is to increase the utility assessment rate. The utilities pay us a fee every year that funds this division as well as the BPA. That rate has not been increased in almost 20 years, and of course our expenses have increased. So this is just an opportunity to increase the rate by 1/10 of 1%. It's currently 3 mils, and we're proposing to make it 4 mils. Next, the bill would also allow the commission to establish a low-income rate if a utility applied for such a rate. I'm sure you're aware energy affordability is becoming an issue across the nation, not only in Delaware. There's language in Title 26 now that prohibits the commission from assigning preferential rates within a rate class. So this language would eliminate that and allow the commission to, again, establish a low-income rate if the utility applied. And the last thing is there's language that eliminates the Water Supply Coordinating Council. This was a council that was created in 2001, I believe, as a result of a drought in Newcastle County. The council met quarterly in the last 20 years and has always had the ability to refer issues to the commission, but it never has in that 20-year period. And there was a sunset provision in the legislation whereby the council reached that sunset date last January. So this would simply remove the council language from Title 26. Be happy to answer any questions you have on any of that. The bill has not been introduced yet. We're kind of vetting it through various stakeholders now and getting feedback. The last item is regarding Delmarva's long-range distribution plan. You may recall on November 30th, the commission approved Order 10134, which acknowledged that Delmarva filed their LRDP in compliance with our regulations. At that time, all the parties agreed that there could be improvements made to the regulation, and the commission ordered the parties to meet in order to do that and to provide you an update by January 15th. So we have met. We had our initial meeting last week with the company. We discussed their load forecast planning assumptions and also some assumptions they use for substation upgrades. The meeting was productive, and we're in the process of scheduling other meetings in the coming weeks. So in terms of an update, we just wanted to let you know that we are moving forward in a positive manner, and we will have a more formal update for you in the months ahead. So happy to answer any questions regarding that. If not, my last update is somewhat bittersweet. As someone mentioned earlier, this is Ms. Knott's last commission meeting. We certainly thank her for her 15-plus years of service to the state and wish her well in her retirement.
Next commission meeting is Wednesday, the 1st of February. Is there any other business